Hey guys, today I'll be doing a short review of the iPhone 13 mini, okay? And in my opinion, is one of the best budget iPhones in 2026, okay? You can find this for around $200 to $250, and for these prices, this is unbeatable, okay? I'm gonna explain you why. Well, first of all, you got a Full HD screen, OLED, okay? It gets nice brightness. It's almost the same screen that's on the iPhone 16e, okay? That was released many years later. You have two cameras in the back, one main of 12 megapixels, and one ultra-wide that does not even the 17e has, of 12 megapixels, okay? You can record in 4K 60 frames per second on both cameras, okay? You can also take 12 megapixel selfie photos, and you can record in 4K as well. Not even some mid-range phones can do that nowadays. So you know, and you got a really fast processor. Even in 2026, it runs really well, iOS 26, okay? As you guys can see, even with the glass look and everything, it's pretty smooth, okay? And it's probably gonna get another 2 years of updates, give or take 2 or 3 years, and it runs better than some mid-range phones. The crazy thing is, the newest Pixel phones, their processor is not much better than this of the iPhone 13 that was released years ago. That's how bad Pixel processors are. But anyways, let's talk about the iPhone. You have cinematic mode, okay? And not even the iPhone 17e has a cinematic mode. Okay, it's only Full HD, but still, you can record portrait video, which is really nice. It has stereo speakers. You can charge around 25 watts, 20-25 watts. It's pretty average, okay? And you have MagSafe, something that the 16e doesn't have, and the 17e just introduced. Wow. But it's a pretty complete iPhone. You have pretty much everything. Is IP68 as well, You have everything you need here, It's a pretty complete package. Okay, that's one downside, and I'm gonna explain you. It's the battery, right? You just can't, you can't fix that, especially in 2021. Okay, it's a small phone. It's very compact. It has a really nice design, but it has a small battery. If you get a new battery on the phone, it will last you around 4 hours of use. Okay, which is not horrible. Okay, let's be real. You will be able to charge like twice a day, but it's okay, better than nothing, right? But apart from that, there's not much wrong with it. Let's talk about the cameras. As you can see, the photos are amazing that I took with it. During nighttime, really good. The HDR is actually quite impressive, much better than some mid-range phones you have nowadays. The camera still impresses me even to this day. It's very good in all situations. Sure, the 16e has a better main camera, but it doesn't have an ultra-wide and no cinematic mode. But look, you can even take photos of your pets, in movement and like running and stuff like that, and they will be sharp in detail. Look at this portrait mode photo that I took of my pug, and the quality is really good. It's really sharp. And some mid-range phones nowadays that cost like $500 don't give photos as good as this, okay? Look at this photo. Look at the HDR. It's really good. However, I think the weakest point on this phone is the selfie camera, okay? The iPhone 16 and 17e have a much better selfie camera. I'm not sure if it's because of the AF, the autofocus, but it's just much sharper at night as well. As you can see, this at night is not that great, the selfie camera, I think it's the weakest point here. In good light, okay, you get decent photos, selfie photos, but in low light, it's not that great. But, it's not horrible either, okay? Let's be real. You get really solid cameras in general, and you just have to remind yourself you're paying $200 to $250 on this, and also it's a really good deal. In my country, this phone costs around $300, $350 used, which is much cheaper than the other used phones from Apple. And look, portrait mode at night as well, you can get really good results. So this phone works in all areas. It will last another 2 or 3 years of updates. There's no much to complain. There's no much competition for this price. Sure, if you pay like $100 extra, you can get an iPhone 16e used, which will be better in almost everything apart from the lack of MagSafe and no cinematic mode. So there's something to think about, but it's not as compact as this. This is the last compact iPhone. I really wish Apple did like a updated version, with a silicone battery. Can you imagine how amazing would that be? But anyways, it's still a really great deal, and I recommend this phone in 2026.